Hello, everyone. Hi, it's Tracy at TierraCast, back again for my second live jewelry demo today. Whoops, hold on. I have to turn off the sound on the other computer. It is always something. You just can't get all this done and have it go perfectly. Hopefully you guys can hear me. So I just had evidence that my sound is okay, but it's good to hear from you guys too, if everything's working properly. So our next jewelry making demo is the Summertide earrings, which are just fun. This is certainly not an idea like with the loop, the beading wire loop with beads. We didn't invent that. That's a popular style. But we created these ones a few years ago and just recently got them onto the website because I was trying to think of kind of fun summery stuff I could add as new projects. So this one was perfect. And so they're just brand new on the website. There's a downloadable project sheet. Pretty sure I put that up in the description, but I'm going to put it again here. And if you're watching on YouTube, these, especially later, the links won't show up for you until I go in and add them in the description of the video. So if you don't see links, if I'm talking about links and you don't see them, just have patience. I will get the links in there. So here's a link to the project. It's a fun one, and I'm going to go ahead and switch the camera so we can get right to it. And if you're just popping in and aren't quite up to speed on what today is, the Great Bead Extravaganza does have a new project coming up. A new event, the Midsummer Market. It's not new. We did it last year as well, but it's coming up on the weekend of July 23rd and 24th. And so today is kicking off our takeover days, which is when all the companies pick a day and we take over the social media in the group for the day and just do a bunch of fun stuff. So my day so far included the jewelry making demo that we did earlier, which was our Western lace earrings. And then I posted a couple of blog links that just had some good, helpful, useful information. The first one was really all about our process and the metal we use, our lead-free pewter. And the second was about cleaning and caring for our metal finishes. So those I just found useful. And then I also posted a picture of the necklace that I'm actually wearing because a couple people had commented on that and really liked it. So I went outside and took a picture, and there you go. All right, so to make these earrings, we need some ear wires. I have a couple of our niobium ear wires here. We need one for each of the earrings. We need 2 of our little palmette charms. These are adorable. They're a little design. See if I can get it to focus. They're a little design that's been in our lineup for a very long time, and they're just very sweet. They're a little opposed loop charm. I'm still not getting the greatest focus here. I would like, come on. And they're sweet. They're a little opposed loop charm, and they're very kind of you can match them with anything kind of design. It's a little bit feminine, but it's also just quite nice. You guys bear with me. I'm going to actually check the camera lenses and make sure it's not like smushed up. I was wondering why it wasn't focusing well. And when I was doing a demo a couple weeks ago, I discovered, and I didn't have good focus. I did discover afterward that there was big smeary marks on my camera lens. So anyway, so we need a couple of these little charms. We need 2 kinds of our spacers. We have these little 3mm disc spacers and also our 4mm daisy spacers. Now these ones have been also something that's been in our lineup for a very long time. I mean, that's just a jewelry making basic, right? The daisy spacers. We need some seed beads. Now, of course, you could make these your own and go with any colors you want. I did consider demonstrating a different colorway, but what I love about these earrings is this palette. It just is so summery, and so I didn't change it. I picked out the same colors that I used in the original design to demonstrate with, but you could certainly mix this up and choose some different colors to work with. Good. You could make, as many pairs as you could make a million pairs, with all the different seed bead colors you could choose. And then I've got a few of our little crimp beads. These are 2x2 millimeter crimp tubes. Our crimp tubes are very nice quality. They're not seamed. They're solid, so they're very sturdy. And the last thing we need is a little bit of medium weight beading wire. And I do like to use the medium because the medium will hold its shape, hold that teardrop shape a little bit better than a fine beading wire would. Now you could use a heavy beading wire, but if you did, you would want to make sure that your crimp tube would fit it as needed. Because, for example, if I was to try and squeeze 2 passes of a heavy beading wire through our crimp tubes, that might not be able to get it through there. Would be too heavy. So I just cut a strand of beading wire. My instructions say 10-inch. I didn't measure. I estimated. But it looks like it'll be plenty. And the first thing I did here is pick up 1 crimp tube onto the end of that beading wire. And then I'm going to just fold that back and make myself a little loop. I want it to be about 1/8 of an inch. I'm sabotaging myself by not giving myself enough to actually get a tail. So making myself a loop, threaded the end through. And I just want my loop to be about a little 1/8 of an inch loop. And ideally my wires are not crossed inside that tube. Now here you could use traditional crimping pliers, but for this design, I just flattened them because I wanted them to just be nice and clean. And so I just flattened them with chain nose pliers. I could, as I was saying, use crimp beads and then maybe put a crimp cover on there. That would also be nice and clean. But this is working for this design. So I just made sure that my wires weren't crisscrossed under there, and I'm just taking some chain nose pliers and flattening them. And I'm going to test that and make sure it's good. And then I can either, I'm going to move this light a little bit. It feels a little dim. I can either trim this off or I can bead, these beads will have holes large enough to cover this tail. So I think that's actually what I'm going to do. And then I'm going to start beading on my pattern of beads. And you can see that the pattern it's a disc bead, daisy spacer, disc bead, and then a seed bead. And that's the pattern I follow all the way down to the bottom until I add that charm in place of one of the daisy spacers. So it's an extremely easy pattern. I will try to keep an eye on the best way to do this is I will try to keep an eye on comments, questions. Do put them in there. If I don't get to them while we're talking here, while we're demoing, I will definitely try and catch them later. So I was talking about the seed bead colors. They're size, but I forgot to mention the size. They're size 6, also known as E beads. And they're just round seed beads. I'm pulling a few out of here because it's easier to pick them up off of the mat. And I should have thought of that when I was setting up. It's easier to pick them up off of the mat than it is out of this container, out of this pallet. So for the 2 pair of earrings, I need a total of 28 of these daisy spacers and 60 of the little disc spacers. And then I need 4 total of the yellows. I've got a couple extras on here. I need 8 of the little orange ones. And I'm only making one of the earrings here, but let's get the right quantity out there anyway. And then 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I need 14 of the little blue turquoisey kind of seed beads. And I abandoned my accurate count approach, so I just threw some, I'm just putting some on here so I can pick them up. All right, so I've got my first disc bead, daisy spacer, disc bead, and then I'm just going to start picking up the seed beads as in the colors as they come up in the pattern. So the first color is 3 of the turquoise. And it is, you know, it's a smart thing to really keep track of your pattern so you don't have to undo if you make a mistake. So that was already, whoops, see, I messed up my pattern already. I needed 3 of the turquoise and I picked up 4, so I'm going to swap one of those turquoise out for an orange. So what do I got? Got 3 of the turquoise and 1 of the orange. A second orange? No, a yellow. And the pattern is all, if you download this project sheet, the pattern is all clearly written out. So orange, yellow, orange. And then I'm going to pick up more spacers and 1 more blue, and then I'll add that charm to the center. And you can see that 10 inches of wire that I cut, it's plenty of length, but you know, you don't want to cut yourself short and then just have to struggle. When I first started making jewelry, I was fairly cavalier with my beading wire. And then realizing how expensive it was, I started being more frugal with it. And I would often cut pieces so short that then it just made my project difficult. So now I try to take the middle path and, you know, cut myself enough beads without being, enough wire to work with and do what I need to do without being wasteful. And I strung my charm prematurely. I need one of the disc spacers on either side of the charm. So now I'm down at the center, and you know, you saw that I was up here working on covering my tail of my my beading wire, so I did that. And then I just moved them so it all moved again. This is the challenge of covering a tail, is you get them covered and then your beads move and it's uncovered again. But I do want to try and keep it covered. Maybe what I'll do is stick a little bead stopper right there on the wire to keep those ones up in place so they won't uncover the tail again. All right, so I'm at the center, and now I can start stringing on the other side, same pattern. So it's a disc spacer, a daisy spacer, and a disc spacer. All right, let's pay attention. Backtrack. Take off the spacers and add my first blue bead. Then I can put my pattern on. All right, and then I can get going on that, the colors of the seed beads. Okay, blue, orange, yellow, orange again. And then 3 blues. Somebody in Facebook, I don't see your name, but somebody's comment that these are adorable. And I think they are too. I just love it. It's a very simple design, but they just come out so colorful and so playful. All right, where am I? I think I got my last 3. Everything in the right order. Take off that bead stopper and kind of double check my pattern and make sure that I didn't make a mistake somewhere. And it looks like it's all okay. So I'm gonna string on my last crimp bead, or my second crimp bead. And I'm gonna do the same thing I did on the other side, is thread that end back through and make a little loop about 1/8 of an inch long. And I'm just threading that end of the wire back through a few of the beads. And then I need to adjust it all, pull it down. So I want my loops to be roughly the same. And I want to take up the slack in this wire. I don't want there to be gaps, but I also don't want it to be too tight. And that's looking pretty good. And it's tricky now to make sure that there's no overlap inside, because your tail's hidden and everything's underneath the beads. But I'm just going to go for it. And again, using the chain nose to flatten rather than crimping with crimping pliers, just for the cleanness of it. And it feels secure enough where I'm going to go ahead and trim off the tail. And that's it. That's the body of the earring. The last thing that needs to be done is I've got a niobium ear wire. And I'm going to kind of loop those around, loop the ends together, and just thread those through the loop of the ear wire. And I do, since this is beading wire, you don't want that to slip out of the loop on the ear wire, so you do want to make sure that it's nicely closed. You don't want to leave any gap in that loop for your ear wire to fall out of. And that is it. That's how easy those are. So you can see that there's a whole lot of potential. I mean, there's seed bead colors galore, and you could customize this. Somebody looks like there's a conversation going on about pride earrings. Yes, a pride palette would be really cool. 4th of July. This could be a very cool 4th of July design. And I'm just thinking, if you did do a 4th of July pattern, one of our little star charms would look great here at the bottom instead of the palmette. So you could definitely adapt your charm to whatever your theme is too, but you would want to make sure it's kind of a small one. I don't think you'd want to choose a big heavy charm for this, because the heavier it is, the more it's going to pull your loop. It's going to pull your teardrop shape. So that's it. That's how easy these ones are. I love them. They're really fun. I'm glad that I finally got them onto the website to share. So I'm going to go ahead, and I'm not going to do it on the live, but I am going to make myself a second one so that, I'll have a pair to wear. And I'm going to go ahead and switch my camera. This is definitely a quick demo. So if you watched the Western lace earring demo that I did earlier today, I did announce that was these earrings. So if you missed that, it's in the feed of the Great Bead Extravaganza group page, the business page, and also it's on my the TierraCast homepage. And if you're watching on YouTube, you can find it on both the Great Bead Extravaganza lists and also ours, of course. So it's all over the place. You should be able to find it. And one of the things I did during that demo was announce a giveaway. I'm giving away 2 of the Western lace earrings kits. And if you watch that video and comment, then that means you are entered. I will choose some names. I'm going to cut it off at 5 p.m. Pacific time today, and I'll choose some names and announce the winner of those 2 kits. And these ones, the Summertide earrings, they're not a kit. Might make a good one in the future. So, we'll keep it on our radar, but they are not now. But I made a couple up, so I'm going to give away a couple of those too. I just printed out the instruction sheet from the website and counted up all the parts you need, and I've got 2 ready for a giveaway. So I'm going to do the same thing. Yeah, this works. So just make a comment, and if you comment, then you're automatically entered. And unfortunately, this one will have a shorter cutoff. I'm going to cut it off at 5 p.m. today Pacific time, and so I'll announce those winners around 5 p.m. today. So let's see, what else do I got going on today? I think the last thing I've got on my takeover agenda is an announcement at 4 p.m. And you don't want to miss it, because if you usually attend our Midsummer Market, our events, the big events, which is, the Midsummer Market is the one that's coming up next. If you attend those, then you'll want to see this announcement, because I'm going to announce the projects I'm going to demo for the Midsummer Market events. So 4 p.m., watch for that. And I think that's all. So I will see you guys again. Well, I hadn't planned to do that announcement in person. I was just going to make a post, and that's already scheduled. So I don't think I'll be back on live today, but I might surprise you. So watch for that. The next thing is that 4 p.m. announcement. Watch for that, and I will see you guys soon. Bye.